Do you constantly feel like there's phlegm stuck in your throat? But no matter how much you cough, clear your throat, or drink warm water, it just won't come out? What if I told you that what you think is mucus isn't actually mucus at all? It might be something far more irritating, a digestive enzyme called pepsin, silently damaging your throat, voice box, and airways every single day. You clear your throat again and again, but that thick, stubborn phlegm refuses to move because what's stuck there may not be mucus at all. Hidden inside your throat could be pepsin, a powerful digestive enzyme designed to break down protein in your stomach, not live in your airway. Scientific studies on laryngopharyngeal reflux or silent reflux show that pepsin can travel upward from the stomach into the throat, even when you feel no heartburn. That's right, you could have zero acid burn in your chest, yet still be experiencing enzyme damage in your voice box. Researchers have actually detected pepsin embedded in the tissues of patients suffering from chronic throat clearing and hoarseness. Once it reaches your throat lining, pepsin doesn't simply wash away like acid, it sticks to your cells like microscopic glue. There, it can remain inactive for hours, even days, silently waiting. And the moment you consume something acidic, like soda, tomatoes, coffee, or citrus fruits, that dormant pepsin can reactivate. Now imagine this. An enzyme meant to digest meat in your stomach suddenly reawakens inside your throat tissue. It begins triggering inflammation at a cellular level, irritating nerve endings and increasing mucus production. This is why your body feels like it needs to constantly clear something that never fully comes out. Over time, repeated exposure to pepsin has been linked to vocal cord swelling, chronic cough, and even airway damage. Some ENT specialists now consider pepsin a key biomarker in patients with unexplained throat symptoms. So when you keep coughing up nothing, yet feel everything, your body may be responding to enzyme injury, not infection. And until you address the real culprit, pepsin, that phlegm sensation may never truly go away. It doesn't burn like acid. It doesn't announce its arrival. And that's exactly what makes pepsin so dangerous. Unlike stomach acid, pepsin doesn't just rise into your throat and disappear. It latches onto your delicate throat lining and stays there. Scientific evidence from patients with silent reflux shows that pepsin molecules can bind directly to the cells of your larynx and airway. This means long after the reflux episode is over, the real damage may only be beginning. Pepsin can remain embedded in your throat tissues in an inactive state, almost like a sleeping intruder inside your own body. You won't feel it, you won't taste it, but it's there. Then comes the trigger. A sip of cola, a bite of pizza, a cup of coffee, even something as innocent as orange juice. The moment acidity touches those tissues again, pepsin can reactivate on contact. Now, the same enzyme meant to digest steak inside your stomach is switched back on, directly on the surface of your vocal cords. Laboratory studies have shown that reactivated pepsin can damage epithelial cells in the larynx by breaking down protective proteins. This leads to microinflammation that builds silently over time. Your throat tightens, your voice grows hoarse, your body produces more mucus in self-defense, and suddenly that strange lump in the throat sensation begins to make sense. Repeated activation of pepsin has been associated with chronic cough, throat irritation, and persistent voice fatigue. Some researchers even suggest this cycle of activation and damage may contribute to long-term tissue changes in the airway. So every time you think you're just eating something slightly acidic, you may actually be reawakening an enzyme already attached to your throat. And with each reactivation, the irritation goes deeper, the inflammation lasts longer, and the symptoms become harder to ignore. What if the very thing capable of disarming this destructive enzyme was already sitting in your kitchen? Pepsin thrives in acidic environments, but science shows it becomes unstable and inactive when the surrounding pH rises above 7. That means when your throat environment shifts toward the alkaline side, pepsin begins to lose its power. Researchers studying reflux-related airway damage have found that alkaline conditions can reduce pepsin's enzymatic activity. In simple terms, the more alkaline your tissue environment becomes, the harder it is for pepsin to reactivate. This is where your daily food choices can quietly become your first line of defense. Naturally alkaline foods like bananas, spinach, broccoli, oatmeal, almonds, and cucumbers help buffer acidity in the upper digestive tract. These foods don't just soothe your throat, they may help create a biochemical environment where pepsin cannot function effectively. When consumed regularly, they can support a more neutral pH balance in saliva and surrounding tissues. That subtle shift may prevent dormant pepsin from reawakening after reflux episodes. Studies have shown that plant-based, low-acid diets are associated with improvements in symptoms of laryngopharyngeal reflux. Patients following alkaline-rich diets have reported reduced throat clearing, less coughing, and improved vocal clarity. This suggests that food-driven pH modulation may directly influence pepsin's ability to damage airway tissues. Each alkaline bite becomes more than nourishment. It becomes a biochemical barrier. Over time, this protective environment may limit repeated cycles of enzyme activation and inflammation. The same enzyme that once triggered chronic irritation can slowly lose its impact. So every time you choose an alkaline supporting meal, you may be helping your throat reclaim control at the molecular level. And in the silent battle against pepsin, that shift could make all the difference. Every night while you sleep, something microscopic may be clinging to your throat, waiting for the next chance to strike. Pepsin doesn't just vanish after reflux, it can remain trapped in the lining of your airway long after the acid is gone. And here's the alarming truth. Even tiny amounts left behind can continue to trigger irritation the next day. But research has revealed something unexpected about this powerful enzyme. Pepsin becomes irreversibly inactive in environments where the pH rises above 8. That means, in a more alkaline setting, its protein-destroying ability begins to collapse. High pH water, often called alkaline water, may help create that exact environment. Laboratory studies suggest that alkaline solutions can denature pepsin, changing its structure so it can no longer damage tissue. Imagine an enzyme designed to digest meat, losing its shape and power simply because the pH around it has shifted. When you drink water with a pH between 8 and 9, it may help rinse pepsin from the surface of your throat and larynx. This mechanical flushing effect could reduce the amount of enzyme available to reactivate later. Some clinical observations have linked alkaline water intake with reduced symptoms in patients with silent reflux, less throat clearing, fewer coughing episodes, improved voice comfort. Morning may be the most critical time to act, because overnight reflux can leave pepsin silently coating your airway. Starting your day with alkaline water may help wash away what accumulated while you slept. Each sip becomes more than hydration. It becomes a targeted attempt to neutralize an enzyme out of place. Over time, this simple daily habit may limit repeated cycles of activation and inflammation, and in the ongoing battle against pepsin, even water can become a powerful ally. The moment pepsin begins to irritate your throat lining, your body launches an inflammatory response to defend itself. But this defense can quickly turn into long-term damage when the irritation happens again and again. Inflammation in the larynx has been linked to chronic cough, hoarseness, and that relentless need to clear your throat. At a microscopic level, inflamed tissues become swollen, sensitive, and more vulnerable to future reflux episodes. This creates a vicious cycle where damage invites more damage. But emerging nutritional science suggests that certain anti-inflammatory foods may help interrupt this cycle. Compounds found in ginger have been shown to reduce inflammatory signaling pathways in irritated tissues. Turmeric contains curcumin, a bioactive molecule studied for its ability to calm oxidative stress and cellular inflammation. Leafy greens are rich in polyphenols that may help protect epithelial cells from ongoing irritation. Flax seeds provide omega-3 fatty acids that support tissue repair and reduce inflammatory markers. Green tea contains catechins that have demonstrated protective effects on mucosal linings. Together, these foods may help restore balance in tissues repeatedly exposed to pepsin. Instead of reacting with swelling and mucus production, your airway may begin to heal at the cellular level. Research into reflux related inflammation suggests that diet can influence how quickly tissues recover from enzymatic injury. The right nutrients may help strengthen your throat's natural barrier against future damage. Over time, this can mean fewer flare ups, less sensitivity, and improved vocal clarity. Each anti inflammatory meal becomes part of your internal repair system because once inflammation is reduced, the grip of pepsin begins to weaken, and your throat finally gets the chance to recover from what it was never meant to endure. It's not always what you eat that invites pepsin into your throat, sometimes it's when and how you eat. Modern research into silent reflux shows that lifestyle habits can directly influence how often stomach contents travel upward. Large meals increase pressure inside the stomach, making reflux episodes more likely to occur. That pressure can push pepsin beyond its intended boundary, straight into your airway. Lying down too soon after eating removes gravity from the equation. Without gravity's help, stomach enzymes can move upward with alarming ease. Clinical observations have linked late-night eating with increased reflux activity during sleep. This means pepsin may be coating your throat while you're completely unaware. Eating within 3 hours of bedtime has been associated with nighttime reflux events, and each of those events may deposit fresh enzyme into sensitive throat tissues. Caffeine can also relax the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscular valve meant to keep stomach contents in place. Once that valve weakens, pepsin gains an open path toward your larynx. Spicy and fatty foods can delay stomach emptying, increasing the time pepsin has to escape upward. Even body weight plays a role. Excess abdominal fat has been shown to increase intra-abdominal pressure, raising reflux risk. This mechanical strain may silently push digestive enzymes where they don't belong, but small intentional changes can shift this dynamic. Eating smaller meals reduces internal pressure and limits upward flow. Staying upright after meals uses gravity as a natural barrier. Avoiding trigger foods helps keep the protective valve functioning properly. These daily habits don't just prevent discomfort. They may reduce how often pepsin reaches your throat. And when fewer reflux episodes occur, fewer enzymes are left behind to cause lasting irritation. In the battle against silent damage, prevention may be your strongest shield.